Hello YouTubers, this is Travis, and we're back for more Adventures in Forgotten Realms drafting, best of 3 on MTG Arena. If you like the content that you see here, please consider subscribing to the channel. That'll give you an alert as new videos are posted so you can catch them faster. And if you really like what I'm doing, consider checking out my Patreon. There's a link below that will allow you to directly support the content I'm producing. In some formats, there's a color or color pair that is generally considered the worst, and oftentimes people will avoid taking cards of those colors. What should you do when you're in such a situation? Should you avoid them too? Watch today's draft and find out. I hope you enjoy. Alright, pack one, pick one. I am not opposed to the Instrument of the Bards. I quite like this card, and it's basically cutting the heck out of green. I think it's one of the better card advantage engines you can get. It sucks that you've got to get it down early for it to do what you want it to do, but it's still pretty good. Heath, thank you for the gift subs. And I see the questions in chat. Hero J asks, how many subs for a guest spot in the draft video? $25 donation. You can join me on chat for a draft. You stream it through Discord. And if you'd like, I'll record it. So if you want it, you got it. That's also up on the Patreon for the Chonk tier. And the mock draft we were doing earlier was a project that a writer for Star City Games is working on, where he has everybody do the same draft. He's got like me and several other drafters doing it, and he wants to see where the draft ends up. We're going to get to Joy of Drafting Season 2. Thanks to Elgeef. Thank you very much, my friend. Y'all spam some cats, yo. That puts us up to 446. Heck yeah. Thank you for saying so, Mama. I really like Wandering Troubadour. And after first picking the Instrument of the Bards, I don't see a reason not to take it. Like, if we can lean into green and then figure out what's open to go with it, that seems great. Well, my initial thought process was, if I'm being asked to help someone create content, I should probably get paid. And that's a fair thought to have, right? But then I read what he wanted to do, and I was like, you know what? That actually just sounds like fun. And the guy's asking for 10 minutes. So I balanced it with, this is something I actually want to do. It was an enjoyable experience for me. So I didn't mind doing that to help the guy for the article, because I think it's fair to do favors for other content creators. Much like, okay, this draft is drafting itself, so I guess we can keep talking about this. When I did, since we've been talking about the Joy of Drafting, when I did the first Joy of Drafting video series, I asked Jamie and Amy and Tommy and Dave if I could use clips from their stream in it, and they said sure. They didn't ask for anything. They did me a favor. I was like, you know what? I'm happy to send that around. I'm very happy to send that around. Now, if it had been something I didn't want to do, that would have been different, right? Let's say that they had asked me to crack 6 packs on stream and discuss the picks. I don't want to do that. That's not fun. So I might have said, okay, what sort of compensation do you have for me for this? But since it was something I wanted to do anyway and I thought was a fun project, I was like, I'll help with this. So that was the thinking there. All right, let's dig in on this draft, because I can't take a green card here. So the question is, where do I want to go?
I can actually catch an afternoon stream. Let's go.
Awesomes, what's up, my dude? Thank you for the resub. I kind of want the unicorn. Am I crazy for wanting the unicorn? Because this is the pick, right? We take Charmed Sleep and we get the started of a good blue-green deck, or we take the unicorn and we get in here. I don't think I would want the Trickster in blue-green. But one of the places I've been most happy with Instrument of the Bards is in green-white, because they struggle with card advantage. Yeah, I think I want the unicorn. I don't think this is super crazy. Well, I suppose we have to get in on it now. I'm not sure which of these two is better. No, I want the payoff first and the enabler later. The paladin's fine, but I don't need to be that crazy about it. It looks like blue's just open, so we'll end up in green-blue. Because I like all three of these cards. If blue's this open, I can get another Windseer. And we're now able to splash anything we want. This is good. I've passed a lot of good blue, which is a little scary, but I think it's going to continue coming around. Green is not particularly open, but it doesn't have to be that open with what we've already got, especially when we combine it with blue. I'm pretty much just in on green-blue now. Ooh, a Basilisk and a Cursed Idol. I want them all. But the Basilisk with Instrument of the Bards is great. One of the problems with this is if you draw it late, there's not a 2-drop you can get that's relevant. But this is always relevant. Yoinks! And yoinks. Because this can get me back Happen Upon a Glade and Spoils of the Hunt currently. And could do conceivably more. I need a few more 2-drops, but I want like Gnoll Hunters. Seems relevant to my interests. And thank you for the kind words about the joy of drafting. I am very fond of that series, and I really did put a lot of work into it. So thank you for saying so, Mama's Cookin'. Split the Farty is not bad. The Apprentice usually isn't something I want, but I could see it doing some work here. So I think I'm going to take it, but I'm not 100% to play it. That's not going to come together. This really isn't either. I guess if blue is incredibly open and we get some of the 2/3s, I could talk about the Trickster. This is in now. Because we could play 18 lands. I have not seen black-red dominating as much as it did, although there's some cards that are just so incredibly powerful. I'm looking at you, Battlecry Goblin, and Reaper's Talisman, that you can just get run over. I reckon you can talk to the hand. Because I needed some incentive to draft creatures, and okay, you got me. I'll draft them. I want exactly one Contact Other Plane in this deck. Currently. But I don't have to have it. God, I want it so much. I'm taking it. This gives me 2 pieces of card advantage. Okay, and blue's still open. Even though green is not amazingly open, this is fine. Green's open exactly enough. So I could take the wilds and have access to a splash, but I've got most of that with Spoils of the Hunt, and I'm really valuing this Basilisk with the instrument. Because like I said, the crappy part about the Instrument of the Bards is you top deck it on turn 6, the board's kind of even, and it's going to take you a while to get something that's relevant. Because there's not a lot of 2-drops you can fetch out that do something, but this Basilisk will usually have an impact on the board. Unless you're just getting murdered in the air, at which point, like, ain't much gonna save you. I want the Contact Other Plane so I can feel comfortable playing 2 Aberrant Mind Sorcerers. Because green's getting cut, but I've got reason to be playing green. And with here... Oh, sweet. That's the other 2-drop I wanted. Let's fill that in. Okay, now I want one of the 2 ones that rolls dice to draw cards if we're just going to, like, make wishes. Didn't get one, but this is acceptable. And it's worth noting we're now up to 4 dice cards. I think 9 is optimal for this. If we see the right things wheeling, we can talk. I really like Meat in a Tavern, but I've been punished way too much for not having main deck artifact removal. So I think I just want to do that and fill out this creature suite as we go forward. I'd like one of the 7/6s at the top end if I can get it. We've got second Charm Sleeper, a Conjurer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It doesn't leave me a lot of room for creatures if I take the Charm Sleep. I know it's the pig. Okay. There's another dice roller. So we're starting to get to where the Trickster could work in the stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 currently, right? Spun the Air Cult Elemental. That's good. I'd rather have that main deck than a Plummet in the size board. Because we shouldn't have that much trouble with flyers. We've got decent flyers of our own in Charmed Sleep. The Air Cult Elemental blocks a third of the dragons. Little Nombo with Charm Sleep and Mind Sorcerer, but I don't have to play 2. I wasn't trying to draft blue, but I feel like they're making me. I don't like cracking packs on stream because I don't want the cards. I think the Trickster may be in at this point. I probably don't need this counter spell. Because now we're up to, if I'm playing both of these, I do need one more spell to get back, right? But we've got Cursed Idol, Glade, Spoils, and Contact. That's probably enough. Oh, I don't drink beer. Never particularly cared for it. Nothing against it. Like, I'll drink mead or whiskey. I don't drink a lot, to be fair. But if I'm going to drink, it's probably not going to be beer. I never really developed a taste for it. Sim wife doesn't like it either, so there's just not much point having it at the house. So here we've got Secret Door, which is an incredibly good blocker. I'm gonna have to cut some of this junk. I'm getting too many playables. How many Basilisks is too many Basilisks? Because this deck might actually want the Loathsome Troll. I think it probably wants it more than one of the Mind Sorcerers. I've actually tried that unnamed. I had a buddy when I lived in Phoenix that was super into beer, and he was like, I can find a beer you will like. We have to go to Gordon Biersch. And I'm pretty sure that was the one he ordered me. And it wasn't bad. It was just still beer, and I'm not a huge fan of beer. Because you can drink mead. I don't know if people know that. Because if I'm cutting this, I'll feel better about cutting something like You Happen Upon a Glade. I think we somewhat obviously want the Owl Bear. We're getting a little stacked here. And I may be off of the Trickster now. Although, my goodness, this is stacking up nicely. What do? I've got too many good cards. I've got to decide which synergy I want to push. This is rough. It's tough to be me. But I can have 2 Tricksters. I don't know that I've ever seen blue-green this open. I almost don't want the Contact Other Plane. I've already got 2 Tricksters. I think I'd rather maximize the first one with these Scions. But because I have the Instrument of the Bards, I'm kind of counting that as 2 tricksters. This is a really good draft. I suppose I would technically side out a Charm Sleep for a Ray of Frost against a red deck, so why not? If I'm going to drink whiskey, it's usually rye. There's a brewery. Would this even be good in our deck? I don't know. We might could use it. I mean, I've only got 1 elemental, 1 owlbear, 1 troll, 1 horror, 1 dragon turtle. Anyway, sometimes it's really open, folks. I don't know what to tell you. I would like 1 more 2-drop, but I can make this work. I gotta trim this down. I gotta really trim this down. Anyway, as I was saying, there's a brewery in Manassas that makes a really good rye whiskey. I buy a bottle every year and sometimes finish it and sometimes don't. This is too good. I don't know what to do with this. No, Two Silos, I don't think they have a brewery there. They just serve things. And they serve great stuff. I like Two Silos. This one's like Knockout Distillery, I think it's called. I have to look it up every time. I know the actual whiskey is called Bare Knuckle Rye. I don't know where else you can find it. I got a bottle for my dad and he said it was the best rye whiskey he'd ever had in his life and said he's done with Templeton. So we've kind of got to pick a common to focus on. So how many dice rollers do I have for this? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is like the bare minimum for it. Yeah, Two Silos is great. When you come back to visit again, we'll go there again for sure. I don't think I need the Trickster. Because I think the deck starts to look a little more reasonable if we do something like this. Like, this looks like a very real deck to me. And we get nearly everything copied with Volo. We've got 2 copies of Volo. And I think I can go 17 lands because You Happen Upon a Glade is here to sort of fix for that. I think I still like the hand here, although I imagine I'm going to be siding it out in some number of matches. We've got some Nombos with Volo too, with these guys. The double Shamans. But that's not even that bad. This is really the only thing that's not going to trigger at all with Volo. There was a late bullet and I might have wanted it. But I think this looks pretty good to me. Let's take this out for a spin. I'm not sure about the 9/8 mana base. This is a deck that would have loved an Evolving Wilds. Because I have to have green early, and then I want double blue. But I don't need the double blue that fast. Because I'm not turn 3ing this, hopefully. So I think we actually want to go 9/8 green. Increases the chances slightly of us being able to play this on turn 1 too. It's handy. This ought to get the job done. Job's done. I guess that's a Witherbloom symbol. We'll do that one. That's nasty, Wing Spear. That's nasty. You gonna finish some dungeons? Did ya? Hey, let us see if you have a removal spell. Because maybe you don't. And it'd be really swell if you didn't. Please don't fight Volo with your white. That would make me sad. Neat! Do I already have a bard? Why did this not trigger? Because I have a freaking dragon! Yuck! Stupid dragon turtle. Stupid, stupid dragon turtle. Well, I don't... Okay. Well, now we have an instrument for our bards, which I like. And we have two sides. I don't have a Tiefling Shaman. So we can surprise tap down a bunch of crap. And get them. Secret stupid dragon. Stupid sexy dragon turtle. This feels kind of mean. But I mean in a good way. So I got the 2 basilisks to get here for starters. Which is really 3 basilisks. I can attack with the Gnoll pretty happily. I can't really swing with much else currently. That's going to give me a counter on something. So I could make this into a threatening creature too, and then maybe have an attack next turn. I think that's fine. I can, but I don't mind go ahead and just declining. But I don't need the third counter on the same turn. Because then I can't use it, right? And it's not like we're looking to skip to 4. All that would really do, like, you could do it if you definitely wanted to skip to the next level, which I mean, we do, but it's like, what if I draw something expensive? I might want to play that instead. Yeah, it works weirdly with Aether Vial, doesn't it? Or it makes you think weirdly about that. I want to give him a good game back, but I can't. The main thing to worry about seems to be the skeletal swarming. I mean, they've got some good cards. But there's really not much I can do about a skeletal swarming other than, like, literally top deck find a cursed idol, which is swell. Because it's not like I can keep pace with it with the Trickster. I could try to play the Villain's Lair to potentially counter it. Not crazy, and on the draw I don't actually want the Hand of Vecna, so maybe that's a little more reasonable. I'm nervous about them getting ahead of me when I'm on the draw. Magic, thank you for the host. Glad to see y'all here. Instrument of the Bards is carrying this hand. Don't blow it up, because I'm kind of dead if you blow it up. What? What? Weren't they green, black, white last time? That's ambitious. I don't want to blow that up, but I kind of have to. Because then bouncing this sets me back a bit too far. Not that I'm going to activate it anytime soon, I guess. Cursed Idol's really good. I'm going to trade this off, so we're not getting much more out of it than a scry. At least I'm going to certainly try to do it. This is not going to work, obviously, so that's a good scry. We'll shuffle it back in later, but that's not the droid I'm looking for. Because right now we need to find a way to kill that thief. Or it'll steal the game. I might need to just go ahead and put this on 3 so that we can eventually grab Tieflings and tap it down for a bit. Okay. That's aggressive. I think I'm still going to leave it on 2 for now. Man, a blue source would be hot. Which I can get given the fullness of time with the Troubadour, right? Problem is, I'm going to be pretty close to dead by then, but see what we can do. I'm going to go ahead and tick this up because I may have to do that soon. I don't like going to 2. Feels unsafe. They can put me to 1 from here. That's bloody scary. I think that means I can't attack. Which is really awkward because I want to. That's often how you win games of Magic, is the reason. I wonder if it's better for them to drain me for 1 or put the counter on the thief. Because their goblin's a threat. Yeah, I think that's the right call. I think that's what I would have done. I'd love to have time to play Volo first, but I don't. I have to Scion of Stygia that. So the question is, since we know we have to do that, and we also have to get ahead of them, can I contact other planes first, looking to hit a blue source? Because that's, I don't want to say incredibly greedy, but kind of necessary. Because if this low rolls, I'm not actually buying myself anything more than a turn. I think if we want to win, we need to roll the dice, as it were, and find a blue source. Neither of these are. And then we consider Scion of Stygia-ing. It also lets me gain a life, so it's technically not lethal on its own, right? If they're smart, they'll not activate the Guild Thief until it's already attacked. Okay. Does this kill the Travis? This might kill the Travis. It's gonna be awful close. I need to high roll and I need them to low roll, I think. Okay, we take these trades because I don't want to die. Part of me catching back up is going to be an owl bear. Not an owl bear. The 2/3s that gain life, because I'm going to need that. No, we cannot double the Scion. We're also dead to fly. That sucks. I had a plan, but fly gets me. Sadly, again, we cannot double the Scion. We already have one in the graveyard. Like I said, we don't really need Plummet. I'd hoped they might target our Volo with that and I could get another turn, but they didn't. We're just like a step behind there, mainly due to missing blue. And they got in a ton of early damage. So after looking at it again, I want the other Charm Sleep. It answers everything they're doing very nicely and gives us the opportunity for 2-for-1s and keeps it out of the graveyard. Like, it's just really good against them. I don't know that I need the Troll. And I could play Plummet. They showed me a lot more flyers than I expected. Yeah, if they're playing Fly, I should be playing Plummet. So this counterspell can just go. And maybe I don't need the Contact Other... I need to cut one of Contact Other Plane or Happen Upon a Glade. And I think Happen Upon a Glade's better. Because I can cast it on 3 and hit lands if I want to, and if I top deck it later, I can get what I want. Which is probably an Air Cult Elemental or a Mind Flayer. The bounce spell's kind of cute too. But I think on the play I can handle this. We just had a bit of a clunky land draw there. Okay, that'll work. And I don't think they can consistently turn to that 1/1. Like, their mana base does not look like it can support that. Take me down to 2-for-1 city where the mana's green and the cards are pretty. I don't know. We have the tempo advantage on us. If they want to hit for 2 when I'm at 24 and like get there, that's fine because we're threatening to crack back for 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't need the lands from you happen upon a glade. That's a bit awkward. But I think we just set up a race here if we can. They've got a bounce spell, eh? Well, presumably they attack with the skeletons and leave one back, which would make the Scion pretty good at forcing through the last few points of damage. Okay. We can't get back the spoils. Yeah, I'm fine. What are they going to get off of this? Treasure? No, they're going to get... Target creature gets -4, -0. That I don't want them to have. Because we can do a bit of a sneaky here and trade this off for the skeleton. And then potentially just draw it back and like get the blocker out of the way. So if they have another, the idea being, I was going to block that. The idea being, if they have another blocker, I can't quite kill them, but I can get close. Well, it'd have to be a hell of a blocker, eh? Yeah, because I've got 3 power on the board no matter what. So we just take the 1. Let's say this had been an untapped creature. At that point, we would block, happen upon a glade, get back the Scion, and get it. The glade can only get permanents, so we can't get back spoils. Or I probably would have gotten it back already. The idea would be if they had blockers, I could block it and get that guy back. I could get back the Scion, but because they didn't, I didn't need to. I was thinking that if they play blocker and then attack and have another blocker in hand, we could be in trouble. Yeah, but I don't care about that, unnamed. They're dead. Like, I would potentially need the extra tap down. Like, the game's game over, man! Show me what you got. I like what you got. That's all good timing, isn't it? But if we're not hitting the land drops anyway, it doesn't matter. Aggressive. Don't want to have to use this on that, but I think the position we're in, I kind of have to, which is suboptimal. But I need to apply some pressure to this thing. Now, it's pretty likely with 5 mana they can plop down something better, but ideally we're going to hit a land and be able to play the Windseeker to kind of finish it off. Welcome back, Scotfrey. Yeah, blue's open a lot. That's interesting. Don't mind what's happening here. Don't mind that either. Afternoon, Aaron.
I just love a good quest.
Been a really good day so far. I'm still having some illness symptoms, but this is not incredibly surprising. I can handle that with a green, which we'll go find.
Now that could have gone better.
Not a huge fan of taking this much damage, but we got the Planeswalker answered, which I think is the important part. Neat. Super neat. How about I just hang on to it for you? Really was looking for more green, but you know, we'll take this. There's my more green. Yeah. I want to have them dead a couple different ways. That's interesting. It doesn't look like they're splashing anything. They're just playing a straight up 3-color deck. My guess would be they were red-white and opened this. Or maybe they were green-white and decided they're gonna... I don't know. That's incredibly difficult to size board against, because like I can sort of identify what would be an attuned green-white deck, or a tuned red-white deck, or even a tuned red-green deck. But like none of these are worth splashing for, so there almost has to be something else incredibly powerful in here to justify wrecking your mana base like that. But I can't sideboard overly much for it. Maybe, but like splashing for Magic Missile is ambitious. But there's also people that are just like, hey, I like to play 3 colors. I'm gonna play 3 colors. Like, do what you gotta do. I mean, I've picked one Minsk and built a deck that could play him. Round 2, I believe, Render. I want to give him another removal target before I play out the Mind Flayer. Maybe it was just Hoarding Ogre, take the wheel. It took me a minute to remember that you got a dog today. And I was like, Andy, why are you using the bathroom in your own house? Better question, why are you going to the bathroom outside? Like, there's a lot of things I don't understand that you're saying. I had to show him how it works. This one's kind of playing itself out. Yeah, I think Volo into Elemental or Volo into Mind Flayer could be pretty fun. So we'll do that. I should still attack with this and take the 2-for-1 if I can get it. It does make my mind flayer worse. Okay. Because there won't be anything left to take. What a bummer. All right, round 3, fight. I don't know. I think a lot of that fail, as often this stuff comes, is coming from people who play predominantly best of one, which I just think of as an entirely different format. I don't want to say it's actual Magic. It's just a different game. That's also very possible, Possums. And it's also possible to have, like, recency bias. I can't really do anything with Volo if I don't hit a blue, but it'd be swell if I did. And it makes a lot of our other draws better. That seems okay. Was that good? I hadn't even attacked yet. They're like, I'm done. I don't want to play anymore. Ugh. I think we're probably good here. That's a pretty nasty sequence. don't want to trade this poor guy off, but I think I'm gonna have to. Current numbers? What do you mean? Like how many people are drafting best of 1 versus best of 3? I have no idea. I don't know that you can even get that data. If it exists, I don't know where it is. That is an unexciting trade to make. I do not care for it. I do not care for it at all. Hand of Vecna's looking pretty rotten here. I may need to take that out, which I've been doing a lot in this series. Because I'm not able, like, against a life gain deck, I'm not really realistically able to race them. This is a heck of a flood, though. I don't know that there's really a great way to find that data. They should have swung team there, right? Yuck. Double yuck. You might want to reach out to the 17 lands folks. They might could tell you some of that. Yeah, I don't think I want Hand of Vecna. I think I just want another removal spell. Let's do that. So guess would be 3 times as many playing best of 1. That doesn't surprise me. You've got to do a lot of work to even find best of 3. This is slow, but has potential. Observe potential. They say blue is bad. I don't believe them. I just wanted to play my game. I just wanted to play my game. Today's draft, and really all of our drafts here, are brought to you by my Patreons. Thank you to these fine folks for supporting the content that we produce here on YouTube. If you'd like to support as well, consider checking out the Patreon. There's a link below. Thank you very much.